guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'll show you how to make this two-piece. So this is what we're starting with, the short. So how you're going to fold your fabric. The width of the fabric you folded is going to be your hip divided by 4, which for me, my hip is 48, divided by 4 is 12. I'm going to add 1.5 of ease. This depends on you. You can do 2 inch of ease if you can do 1.5, but 1.5 is okay for me. And then the next measurement I'm going to add into the width of this is going to be my hip divided by 4, which is 12, divided by 4 again. This is just so you can get what will serve as your crotch. So we've inserted 3 measurements here. The first measurement is our hip divided by 4. For me, my hip is 48, divided by 4 is 12. I added 1.5 of ease, which is the next mark I made. Now the next mark I'm going to make here is going to be my crotch measurement, which is 3, which I got by dividing my actual hip measurement by 4, which is 12, divided by 4 again. That is how I got 3. So if yours is 40 divided by 4, first you will get 10. Divide that 10 again by 4. That is how you're going to get the crotch measurement. So now let's start inserting our measurement. So the next measurement I'm going to put in now is the length I want the pant to be. Don't mind the band. I'm just going to work with 17, because the reason I'm saying don't mind the band is because when we add our band, remember, we are still going to consider folding this. So I'm just going to use whatever length you want your shorts to be. Measure from your high waist to where you want the pants to be. So I want to work with 14. So I'm just going to, 17. I'm going to mark 17 here on this line here, right? So from here to here. Next thing I'm going to mark is my hip divided by 4. Bring up this measurement here. Also add in this 1.5 again. Then the next measurement you're going to insert here is going to be your hip divided by 4. That same measurement is what we're still using, but this time around I'm going to mark about 1.5 at the top of it here. This is going to serve as my band, right? You can do 2 inches of band depending on you. So let's say you decide to start your band at 2 inches. That is with half an inch of your sewing allowance here, right? So let's say you mark this now, and then you decide that your pant is going to start at 2 inches. So just your band is going to be 2 inches elastic. So put your tape at 2 inches, and then you're going to insert your hip divided by 4, which is for me is 12. I'm using it again here. I know you'll be thinking I'm using a lot of hip divided by 4, but that is how you're going to calculate it. If you don't want to use your hip divided by 4 for this particular crotch length, another thing you can use is just sit on a hard surface. Put the tape like this by your side of your hip. Measure from your waist to the chair. That is how else you're going to get this particular measurement. So now I'm going to give it a curve here. Right? So now that is all. I'm going to just go ahead and cut. We're not trimming, we're not shaping the end. All we're doing is cut from here all the way out. Cut out this here. I'm still going to split it into 2. But for now, let me leave it the way it is. I'm still going to split open this side, but I'm going to leave it for now. So the next thing is that we are going to go ahead and take our fabric, fold it again to cut the back panel. You see, fold it again. Like I said, everything is, this pant is almost looking like it's square. Everything is the same. The only thing I cut out was just that part here. This part is still straight. This part is still straight. So now I'm going to take this pant now. Place it at the edge here, making sure it's touching the edge, and then you're going to make sure that the back is wider by 3 inches. A smaller person can do 2.5. If you're bigger, you can do 3.5, right? But 3 is okay for me. Just like this. Place it here, making sure that after the end of this one here, from the tip of this here, there's still extension of 3 inch here. So guys, now that I've made sure that I have an extension of 3 inch from where the end of my pant is, now the next thing I'm going to do is to make sure that I mark about 2.5 to 2 inches distance from this side here. This long part here, I'm going to mark 2 inches to 2.5. But from the end here, I did 3 inches. A smaller person should do 2.5. And then 2 inches here. This is going to serve as my seam allowance. So I'm just going to do about 2 inches here. Mark it all the way. Don't do 2.5. It might be too much because it's just seam allowance that we are working with here. and then I'm going to extend it. You see where my normal waistline is, but I'm going to extend this waist by at least 2 inches. You see, into this line, and then I'm going to angle it all the way. Use your ruler and blend it into the edge, the tip of this part here. You see, that is okay now. This is our back panel. Like I did in front, all we have to do is cut this exactly the way it is to the tip, cut into this part and straight down. So guys, this is our pants here. At this point now, I can go ahead and split open the sides because we are still going to be adding a pocket here. So let me go ahead and cut it open. I've cut the front open. The back now, I'm also going to split it open. So now you see our pant has 2 pieces for the front, which is this 2 piece here. How you're going to sew it is you're going to take it the way it is now, right side facing each other, and then you're going to use 1/2 inch. How we are going to sew it is 1/2 inch is what you will use to sew here. So go sew it with 1/2 inch all the way to the end. The side we are using 1 inch, but for here is 1/2 inch, both for the front and the back. The same thing for the back now. I'm going to turn it to the wrong side, sorry, to the right side facing each other. Do the same thing, use 1/2 inch to sew it close, and then I'm going to take it, open it up like this. They take this one also, open it up like this. By then I've already closed the crotch, right? So guys, this is the pants here. You see, I added about an 8-inch dart here. I just like to add that to my gathered pants, like pants that has elastic at the waist. It helps to pull the waist together a little, so it's not too puffy. So if you like, you can skip this step here. So like I just said, you're going to go ahead, sew it with 1/2 inch here, and then put in your dart if you want to. And then for the back, the same thing. I sewed it close, added for the back. I like to do like 5-inch dart, 5-inch dart, 1/2 inch on each side, 1/2 inch on each side. And then the next thing I have to do now is just to come to this side here, sew at least 1.5 inch down, leave 5 inches space here or 6 inches space, continue my seam down. Do the same thing on this side, using 1 inch of side seam allowance, right? So I'm going to come down 1.5, sew it, leave, skip about 5 inches opening, complete it down. The 5 inches opening is for pocket. I'll use lining to create a pocket here. Once that is done, sew this with 1/2 inch here, and then hem the opening of your pants, hem the opening of your pants, and then we'll come back and add our band. In the meantime, to cut our top, this is what we are going to be using here. So this here, you're going to check the length you want your top to be, and then you're going to add about 1.5 to it, right? So my shoulder to waist is at 17. What I have here is about 19 inches. So now what I'm going to do is to go ahead and cut. So you're going to start with the shoulder measurement divided by 2. Notice that the 2 fabrics are folded equally, right? So the width I have here, like I said, I have 19 for the half length, but my actual half length, my shoulder to my waist, is 17. So my seam allowance and everything, I did 19 and I almost 20, but it depends on you how short you would want yours to be. So I might leave my back long and then just trim off a little at the center front, just so it will give that shape of crop top, right? But I just decided to use about 20 inches for now. So now I'm going to go up to the shoulder divided by 2, which is going to be 8 for me. My shoulder is 16, divided by 2 is 8. Come down here by 1 inch of shoulder slope. Insert my armhole divided by 2, which is going to give me 9. Connect it here. Give it a curve like this. Come here, mark my bust divided by 4, which would be about 10 point something. So mark it. I'm going to do, you can do 2 inches of seam of ease and seam allowance, or you can just do 1.5 of ease and then 1 inch of seam allowance. You're going to leave it straight all the way down. Let me say it again. Bust divided by 4, 1.5 inch of ease, 1 inch of seam allowance. That is what I have here. So then come up to the neckline, mark my neck, divide my round neck of 3, connect my shoulder slope, do 1 inch for the back neckline, 3 inch for the front neckline. Connect all of them to this point. Connect this one to this point. Then we are going to go ahead and cut. We cut off the shoulder slope, cut off 1 inch for the back neckline, 3 inch for the front neckline, cut off the armhole. This is what it looks like now. So you see, this is the back here, one piece all the way like this. and then this is the front here. For the front, I went ahead and slit it open down like this with just 1 inch down here. So this is what I have, sorry, 6 inches down here. So you're going to make sure to slit it open in such a way that your head can fit in. If you feel like the end of your cloth might be too wide when you're done, another thing you can do is just to go in and chip off like 1 inch from the bottom part here. Or you can do the same thing we did at the bust. So you can also come down at the waist and do my waist divided by 4, but it will not have the same shape as her own. So it's better to leave it straight, or at most take out just 1 inch at the end here. Connect it to the chest and then cut it off. So guys, this is what we have at the moment. So like I was telling you, all I had to do was just to join the shoulder together. The slit I made, I used fabric to just turn it over. So this is what it looks like on the inside, you see, just like a facing to turn it over here. So now all I have to do is just to go ahead and add the sleeve. So this is what I'm using for my sleeve. It depends on you what you want, like the length you want. So I want to make mine a little longer. So let me set this aside, right? And then I'm going to just cut the basic sleeve. So guys, this is the sleeve here. So I'm going to just come down here by 4 inch here, down. And then the width here is just my armhole divided by 2 plus extra 2 inches because it's wider, right? So I'm just going to go ahead from the end here, connect it to the other end, like in a straight line. Find halfway through this, give it a curve below and a curve like this. And then down at the end of the sleeve, I'm just going to insert my sleeve width and then plus 1, connect it to this point. So now I'm going to cut this out, So guys, this is the pant, and you see I've gone ahead and joined what I'm using as the band. So this thing that I added now, I'm going to be folding it into 2, right? So you see I used 1/2 inch to join it all the way around the waist of this pant, right? So when I go to fold it now, how I'm going to fold it is I'm just going to tuck in 1/2 inch at the edge here and then use it to close up this part and just sew it all the way around, and then I formed my band. If you look here, you see there's an opening in front here. This is for my for my rope, and I've gone ahead and made a rope. You can make a rope that is about maybe 70 inches long. It depends on you. Just whatever your waist is, you can do ×2 of that for the length of your rope, right? So now the next thing I'm going to do is like if you are wondering the length I used for the band, it actually depends on the length of your elastic, right? The length. So if you're using about 1 inch elastic, then make sure that this band is about probably like 3.5 inch. That's the width of the band, is going to be 3.5. That way you use 1/2 inch to join this part, 1/2 inch to join this part, and then you have 1.5 in between for your elastic, because you never want to make it like the exact length. You just still want the elastic to be able to move, since this is still going to be inside of it. So, and then once it's done, this is what I did here. So this is it here. At the center part here, you can use your button, what you used in making buttonhole, to just make it like a buttonhole and then cut it open so that the rope can come out here, because this is the front of my pant. So now let me go ahead and fix it, and then I'm going to pass my elastic and the rope at the same time. For the pants, you see that I've also added my pocket. All you have to do is just the same seam allowance you're using for the side seam, right? You're going to cut what you're using for your pocket. You see my side seam is what I used to, the 1 inch of side seam. I just sewed this line in 1/2 inch on this side, 1/2 inch on the other side, all the way down. You see, that is what is forming my pocket. It's about 8 inches length, and then the width on a fold is like almost 10 inches on a fold. So that is what I'm using as this pocket here. So I'm just going to go ahead now and finish up the pants. So guys, this is the pants here. Like I said, just use something for buttonhole and put it here, and then just fold the rest of it into 2. Pass your elastic, and that is it. So this is the pant. I just hem the end on this one, and then pass my rope to come out on the buttonhole that I made in front here. So that's basically it. And then this is my top. All I did was just use bias to run the neckline. You see, this is the neck. Just use bias to finish it up, and then I ironed it. So this is what it looks like at the moment. So it goes with this short here. If you want, you can increase the length of your own, because I don't know if mine is a little bit short, I mean for the top. And then if you reduce what you can do is that if you want the back longer and the front shorter, you can just increase the length, and then for the front you can just cut, maybe reduce it into the side, you understand? So it's going to be like a cone shape in front. That way it's just still going to give you the crop top effect in front. So that's basically it. You see the neckline, everything is done. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Guys, please like, share and subscribe. Bye.